Hello, everyone. This is Yolanda Spivey from Your Black Women and also from Michael Whitney and Associates. And as promised, I had a little podcast I wanted to send out to all of you, just for us to think and reflect on what just happened with the Tamir Rice situation. Now, many of you know who Tamir Rice is. And just to recap his story, he was a 12-year-old baby, okay, who was gunned down by a Cleveland, Ohio policeman on November 22nd, 2014. Now, excuse me, I personally believe that he was murdered by an officer who was deemed mentally incapable of being on the police force. But anyway, well, over this year alone, black people, America, we have seen a barrage of law enforcement officers getting away with murdering and assaulting citizens across the country, okay? And many thought that body cameras would do the trick and hold law enforcement officers accountable for their actions, but we've seen with our own eyes that does not work very well. So I got to thinking, how can we hold law enforcement more accountable for their actions? The insurance professional inside of me started coming up with some ideas. And basically, I think every policeman and woman should be forced to carry what they call a professional liability insurance policy. And they should have this policy in place in order to be gainfully employed on their jobs. Just like doctors and lawyers are required to carry professional liability insurance when practicing medicine and law, cops too should be held to the same standards. And the question you may ask now is, how is this going to help? Well, first of all, it is going to hold that specific officer financially responsible. They should be forced to pay for the policy itself, which of course is going to set them back a few $100s a year, maybe a few $1,000s. They also should be required, like any other insurance policy out there, to have a deductible. Now, the deductible is the amount of money that a person pays first before the insurance carrier pays for a loss. So just imagine if a police officer's deductible was set at, like, let's say $2,500. That means every time a claim goes in against them, this is the amount of money they must come out of pocket first, okay? So we really should hit them where it hurts most, and that's in the pockets. Now, we know what happens when you start filing claims against your insurance policies. You know what happens when you file a claim against your auto and home policies. In some cases, your rates increase, okay? You pay more money in insurance if you have a bad record. And when you get points on your license for driving recklessly, you pay more money in auto insurance. Same thing should happen to cops. If they have claims on their policy, they too should pay more. And if they don't have any claims and have a clean record, then the amount of the insurance they pay should decrease. Again, they should be forced to pay for the policies out of their own pockets as a condition of employment. Now, states across the United States, major cities are going bankrupt, okay? Bankrupt because of the amount of civil lawsuits they're paying. These crazy-ass settlements from these crazy-ass cops, okay? And who gets hit the most? Taxpayers, okay? This is not fair to them. They are already paying for the cops to uphold the law, and then now they're paying for the cops to break the law. Doesn't make any sense. Okay? Now, there are some states that already have this in practice where they do require each law enforcement officer to carry some type of liability insurance. But this should be done across the board, especially in the states where there are high incidences of police violence against citizens. Now, there are a few insurance companies out there that write law enforcement policies, and the policy specifically covers the officer for any bodily injury, personal injury, or property damage that results from law enforcement activities or operations caused by a wrongful act while conducting activities or operations. In closing, I think this is very important in addition to having body cameras. Now, I bet we will see a decrease in criminal behavior with certain law enforcement individuals. And it's important. I was just reading this morning that a new study from Harvard states that law enforcement officers kill more people than pneumonia, influenza, and the measles combined. And therefore, this, whatever is going on, should be treated as a public health epidemic. So think about this for a second and let me know what you all think. I want to thank you all for your time. I'm trying to end this without crying, just thinking about Tamir Rice and his little baby face. And I just want to say rest in peace to him and Sandra Bland and all the other beautiful brothers and sisters who are not going to join us in 2016. Peeps, I don't know. We have to take a stand. And the only way some people are going to listen to us is if we hit them where it hurts the most. And that's take away their money. Have a good night.